What do you think of that?
What in the world am I looking at? What is this?
That was the money shot.
That is the that's the popcorn bucket for the new Deadpool Wolverine movie. I'm excited. I don't want this popcorn bucket.
If you told me that was the popcorn bucket for Deadpool, completely, totally, I get it. I understand it. But I look back at 30 years of fandom of Wolverine, and I look at this, and I'm just thinking, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not too happy. I don't like this popcorn bucket compared to the Dune popcorn bucket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had so many opportunities. I don't know what they could have done, but it feels like I think this one missed the mark. If it was Deadpool, yeah, totally.
Nobody asked for this whatsoever.
Yeah,
I think there might actually be a Deadpool version of it, but well, like there might be two buckets.
Nobody ever thought of this. Nobody wants this in their porn shop down the street off exit 59. Nobody asked for this.
I got a question for you. So imagine being that guy. I want to take a second to look at like how this like happened, like the thought process behind this. Some guy worked for some company, and his boss came to him and said, "Hey, we landed the contract for the Deadpool Wolverine movie. I need you to design a popcorn bucket topper Wolverine, and we got to beat the Dune one. I need it on my desk Tuesday." What the hell is that guy supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like that's how this happened. Let's be honest. That's what happened here. What in the world could that guy have done differently?
You could have made it where the hole comes out the head, where it's like you're eating his brains or something,
or like claws or something. I don't know. But, I don't know how.
What if it was just the mask?
I did not need this gooey looking money shot right here either. That is fucked up.
Yeah, that's a mess.
This is not how I want to see my Wolverine.
No.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go watch Riley Reid.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it on this one. But it's Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Now.
So welcome to people in the future who are watching this later on when you're looking back. And you have your amazing movies and everything that you're doing, and you're looking back and you're wondering what the hell was going on with the MCU in 2024. Here you go. No. This is it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Wolverine fleshlights as popcorn items.
Yeah. No. We've got the Wolverine. I'm actually excited about this movie, though. I don't know about this art stuff, but.
Is that? Oh, it is Wolverine's hand. It took me a second. I like this. I do have faith in the movie. You know, it's nice that Disney even let this happen, all things considered, because obviously they despise Deadpool. They just despise making money a little less than they despise Deadpool.
Right. Yeah, they're not even calling it Deadpool 3. It's just Deadpool and Wolverine. So they're taking it, basically in a 90-degree direction instead of going straight forward with it.
I was happy that they got
Speaking of which, go ahead.
I was just going to say,
yes, I love that they're bringing him back. I love the relationship between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I appreciate that they're doing this. They are, by all accounts, it looks like they are doing it right on Deadpool standards. Wolverine maybe a little bit less, even though Hugh Jackman is obviously past the end of his career with that character. Right. It is nice that they are trying to do fan service and doing it right. Obviously, that's worked too with the Spider-Man movies and not anything DC, but that's their fault and not the character's fault. I will say, with Disney pulling this move, I just want to make the point that Disney folding the way that they did with Deadpool and making this movie, making a rated R Deadpool movie after buying the franchise and not knowing what to do with it for a while. Biggest sellouts ever in the history of sellouts. Anybody who wants to like talk about like a punk band like Green Day or Offspring selling out, the biggest comparison ever now is Disney. Nobody has ever sold their soul like Disney.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm glad that they're doing it. We'll see how good it is. Like, I was not very excited about the fact that Disney was going to be doing this because obviously they're going to be, digging their heels in on some of the humor. And I read some articles and stuff.
Obviously not. If you've seen the fucking popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Imagine what it could have been. I saw one that was like, it was Deadpool like spreading cheeks, right? And you were reaching in to grab popcorn. But so this one seems kind of this.
Somehow that would have been more acceptable.
It would have been better, I think.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. It would have been more acceptable. It would have been more on brand.
Exactly, especially with Deadpool. Yeah, to try and do this to Wolverine's or Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
You know what I would have done?
You'd have to throw him in there somehow.
It would have been 100,000% different. If you bring up the picture again, if you still got it, bring up the picture of that popcorn bucket. I have one very simple, very elegant fix to the entire problem with the Wolverine popcorn bucket. I'll tell you exactly. One change. If you just took away the flesh-colored part, and it is just the mask without the mouth and the chin. If it's just the mask, this thing is fine.
Oh, yeah. If it was just the mask, I could see that.
It's the mouth that makes this thing a farce. It's ridiculous.
And the tongue makes it worse.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, okay, so you got the mouth, but that tongue is really weird, too.
Well, I almost feel like this was a troll on fans. Like I think
I got another one. This might make it a little better.
I
bet Ryan Reynolds had a lot to do with this. He was in the design phase.
See, the Deadpool one makes sense.
There's like a Deadpool one too, right? I don't know if this is like a fan-made thing. I don't think so. I mean, they look pretty similar. I could totally see him doing this. But I don't know if I'd want to buy either one of those, really.
I would.
No. When you compare it to the Dune one, like...
I never even knew popcorn buckets was like a thing until the Dune one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither.
I collected a lot of them from the Marvel movies before Endgame.
Really?
So, yeah, because they're like metal. They're tin. And they're cool little.
I mean, I've seen them around, the tin ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen the special lids. And then when I looked when I was looking into the Dune one, I was like, wow, there's a Ghostbusters one. There's a couple of them that are pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's like one it's similar to these, but it's Slimer and his mouth is open. You're like reaching in, and then they've got one that's like Ghost. It's the Ghost Trap. But then it's got like the beam, like the ghost trap's open. It's got this green beam that's plastic that holds all the popcorn in. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
There's an Evangelion one that the mouth opens up, and it's got the EVA unit, and the mouth opens up, or just the head opens up. I don't remember which one. Popcorn's in there, and the eyes light up.
All these guys had companies, or there was that guy working at the company where they're like, hey, we need that popcorn bucket topper. Can you do like a Slimer one? He's like, I got just the idea. And then his buddies over there doing the Evangelion one, and they're like, yeah, dude, yours is cool. I like yours too. Yours is good. And then Deadpool Wolverine guy, they're sitting there like, yeah, we need a Wolverine one. And he's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
what the fuck am I supposed to do about this?
I'll
just do his head with the eat through the mouth. It'll be fine.
Oh, you know what? This one's kind of rad. Hold on, I'm gonna share this one. I wish
like
some of these. I'm like, I wish I knew they existed because this one's like a popcorn bucket and I think and a drink.
Like if they had the balls to go with like the zombie storyline for Marvel, they could have easily made those like the brain buckets. And then, but you know, just
that's a good call. Good. We obviously haven't seen this movie yet, but that's a heck of a call. If you're gonna do Marvel Zombies, what better like entrance to that whole thing than doing it with Deadpool?
Right.
Duh.
Oh, right. That would be kind of cool. Okay.
I'm sure this will be amazing. You know, Disney, they print money, so I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
I don't know with what they're trying to do with Wolverine and the X-Men 97. I mean, I'm hearing rumors what they're trying to do, and if this is trying to push it forward with it, I'm not going to be a fan.
Yeah, I'm reading some of those articles myself. It's interesting to see because there's wildly different factions of people arguing, like within the company, arguing about stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious with this whole Wolverine thing. If they're trying to bring Deadpool into the MCU, but they're bringing in Wolverine, wouldn't that mean Wolverine is getting brought into the MCU, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine? And
this is supposed to be the introduction, yeah.
But he's already like done with Wolverine, so how are they going to pull that off? Like,
well, if
you're going to stick him in for one more after this, and then one more after that.
I guess somewhere down the line we'll watch the trailer, but there's a lot of Easter eggs in there that kind of lets you hint at like how this Wolverine takes place. I don't know if this is going to be the Wolverine from 2001 all the way to Logan. I don't think that's the same character.
But that's the thing. I don't know why they wouldn't make it the same character. Like, that's bad writing in my opinion. Trying to get everybody invested in a brand new one.
I was going to say the same thing. It better be that Wolverine.
This is the Wolverine I care about.
In Deadpool, in the credits, you remember Ryan Reynolds going back through all of his timelines and killing everything. That was bad.
Yep.
He even shot himself in X-Men Origins. Wolverine.
Yeah, I have actually a thought on that.
Okay.
How it could all still work. So technically that one didn't exist because in Days of Future Past, he goes back in time and changes it before he even had the claws. So that when he went back to the future, that entire story didn't have to happen. All the X-Men were still alive. So the X-Men 1, 2, and 3 were affected in some way or another.
So they double retconned that movie?
Right?
They couldn't just retcon it once. They had to do it twice just to make sure.
There's been a lot of retconning with the X-Men movies.
After that movie takes place, the Days of Future Past, the way it ended, Logan takes place 5 years after that. So at some point after that movie, Professor X has the stroke within 5 years and kills all the X-Men, and that's when we get Logan. So that's the timeline, which means that if Deadpool goes somewhere, it seems like if they're going to pull it off, and I watched this video, we can watch it later if we want, but it kind of says a similar thing, like Deadpool might be going back because that Wolverine went back in time, created an alternate reality, and therefore the time police or whatever come in and then basically creates a loophole Wolverine, right? So they got to get rid of him, and they send Deadpool or somebody in there to fix it. And he's got to save his universe somehow. And that maybe the fact that Wolverine died, or maybe because the X-Men died, there was nobody to save that Earth. And therefore, Wolverine has to go back and, I guess, fix things. Or I don't know if he can fix his universe.
So if Marty has to go back and he's got the sports almanac, I'm sorry. I'm so done
the timeline would have been
timeline
changed with
stuff.
Marty's timeline was changed, and then we got the Biff timeline. So this would be like the same thing where he has to go back, stop from killing Lancaster or whatever his name is, that actor, the Lancaster, and then have to go back to fix it, and then stop the car from getting destroyed by the train?
Trying to come up with a time like that, the original Time Machine book joke, and I can't even make that because you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about because it's so similar to every single one of these time story movies and things that's all happening in everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm so done with time traveling stuff. You had the whole Loki series doing that whole thing, and then apparently they're like already trying to redo like the bad guy from that because of like whatever they want to cut bait with the actor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know why they have to do that. Why don't they just get a new actor? That's what they used to do back in the day. Like,
because the character Kang is the character, and he didn't even test well, and like he didn't have good screen presence. Yeah. He didn't have like cred. You didn't watch that and think, oh my God, that's the next new bad. Oh, this is good. You watched it, and I
never really thought Kang. I never really cared that much about Kang.
I had no problem with Kang the Conqueror coming in and, being the next big bad, but you did it wrong.
Yes.
Horribly. You already
exactly.
had him be defeated. You had him be defeated in Loki, and then you immediately had him defeated again in Ant-Man Quantumania. You had him get beaten by Ant-Man.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paul Rudd doesn't beat anybody.
No,
the Ant-Man. He's in the movie. He's the dead Ant-Man.
Yeah, dead Ant-Man.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be a reference to Old Man Logan, the comic series, Old Man Logan.
Right.
That's gonna be really cool. I didn't read Old Man Logan, so I didn't know that happened.
I swear, if we see like 17 different Wolverines, like if we get female Wolverine like falling in love with male Wolverine,
it won't be like that. They're going to go with
all the beats from Loki.
Yes, exactly.
We're just taken from.
They
Loki.
won't do the female
like,
Wolverine.
If they do alligator Wolverine,
they're going to do like. If they do that, they'll do the one where Wolverine and Hercules get that universe where they get together, and he's got the gold claws.
No, if anything, in this film, they're going to make Colossus jealous of Wolverine for taking all the attention he used to get.
Oh yeah,
I could see them doing something like that.
Yeah, in this I haven't seen. He's got to be in it. I like all the cameos that they're bringing in here. I didn't have anything.
Deadpool's good about that,
but I like the second Deadpool way better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, well, the super duper cut, not the theatrical version.
I didn't see the super duper cut, so I'll let you have it.
It was like a DVD. It's the same movie, but it has a better soundtrack, better jokes, and I think there might be one or two extra scenes in there. I'm not sure about that.
So instead of rated R, it's like rated MA.
Yeah, kind of. And it's not even that bad. It's just
fools. It's rated Brad Pitt. Period. Yeah, end of conversation.
That was one of the things that was in it, right? It was the Brad Pitt Flash cameo.
I think he was in both. He was in both of them.
I don't know.
He was in the original one of it.
I watched the super duper. I got the DVD, and that's when I watched it. Right, the super duper cut, because I like director's cuts. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, then I watched the original just to see what the difference was, and I was like, "Wow, man! I'm kind of glad I did not see this in theaters because it's not as good. It's like not even close. The super duper cut's like almost like perfection. It's like a really well done movie. The first movie was just fun, all the way around. It was cool. It was fun. It was a Deadpool movie. This one, man, this Wolverine Deadpool, it's either gonna hit or it's gonna flop. I don't know if a super duper cut could save a flop.
No,
it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison because of the fourth wall breaking, and then because they don't play by the same set of rules that every other movie, like the director and movie series and everything has to play with. But Deadpool does cameos better than anybody else because they don't have to play by the rules. They can make fun of themselves. They can be self-deprecating. They can do nonsense like, having they can make fun of how they can't afford to have the X-Men around, and then they make the joke later on with the X-Men in the back room, and they, shut the door behind them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was okay, hold on. I got a commercial pulled up here. We're gonna watch this. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. This is the Secret Wars trailer. Have either of y'all seen this yet?
Mm-mm.
How much are they paying you to show a commercial?
Dude, not enough.
We'll be back right after this commercial, brought to you by.
We're gonna fap this bitch, dude. All right, here we go. Full screen. Here we go.
So I heard Secret Wars is finally going to introduce. You get reception down here? I don't have a phone. It's coming from out there.
Hey, Bob. You have nothing to cough room in your mom's nursing home. So turn your phone to silent or I'll shove it so far you'll have to answer it through your...
No, easy now. Easy now. So much.
Wolverine breaking the fourth wall.
God, when you yell like that, it makes my vibrate. At least I think it's a... Listen, just turn your phones off. Or put them on silent, whatever you prefer. I'm going to take his neck veins for a walk now. Enjoy the film. Nice fourth wall break back there. I didn't think you had it in you.
Shut up.
Oh, Silenciedad.
Or Canada. Or the Netherlands.
Lopez.
Deadpool y Lorenzo. That's
okay. I didn't know I didn't know that was this.
I hadn't seen that before. Yeah, that's right. Well done. Like I do gotta say, Hugh Jackman, good job on the fourth wall break. You did very well.
Yeah. Turn your damn cell phones off in the theater.
Right? Exactly.
Or in a live stream. Might actually be in the theater.
You watch. I bet I got $10 as Peter's phone goes off during the middle of this stream.
It already did. Did you already hear it?
Did it? Turn your goddamn cell phone off, Peter. Or silence it, whatever you prefer.
Okay. All right, I'll silence it.
So fucking rude.
Only because Hugh Jackman told me to. I could barely hear that thing, man. The audio was way low.
Yeah, audio wasn't good, but the point kind of came across. Obviously, that's not part of the movie, so that was just like a fun little thing. Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, they are really great about that. They get together. Have you seen the exchanges they do on like social media between the characters? It's funny stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of information that comes out on some of those. Like the fact that Hugh Jackman said that they're not affecting the way Logan ends in this movie in 2019 or 2029 or whatever the story. They're not going to change the 2029 ending of Wolverine or Logan or whatever. But it's real crazy the way he worded it. Like, it doesn't mean that they can't go back in time and change a few other things, and then maybe possibly he still goes to meet his fate in the end of that movie. Like, what if instead of joining the MCU, Wolverine decides to go back to his timeline and end it the way it was meant to be ended in the original movie, and then Deadpool gets to go to the MCU, and then we get a new Wolverine.
Yeah, see, this is one of my biggest problems with this whole timeline thing that they keep rehashing and everything that they do. The way that it stands, like right now, I guess, the way that it stands in all of these different IPs that they're putting out on the TV series and stuff on Disney Plus, it's like you have multiple different timelines. Mm-hmm. So you have multiple different Wolverines, which means that basically the way they're writing it, what I'm seeing, reading between the lines on this, and having seen some of these others like Loki and some of the other stuff that they're doing, anything with the TSA is like, oh, the Wolverine that died in Logan, that's a different Logan. This is a different one. This is a completely different timeline. This is Earth 23.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It completely removes the stakes for any story that they're telling.
Right.
But if it's our Wolverine, then it doesn't remove the stakes. It keeps them the same, because if you bring in a brand new team or Wolverine or whatever, then it removes the stakes, because then there's just going to be another Wolverine behind him. So it'd be bad writing, in my opinion. That's why I don't think this is a different Wolverine. It's got to be the same one. Like, why even bring him back in the movie?
Well,
that's where. I'm sorry, I'm off my soapbox. Bionic, bruh, you're talking. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So, we're getting Lady Deathstrike back for a cameo. We're getting X-23. She's older now, and she's going to be making a cameo and everything. So we're getting everybody with the claws again. And then, of course, there's this rumor of Daniel Radcliffe going to be the next Wolverine. So I have no doubt in my mind that they'll be teasing some of this stuff, or at least fooling around with it in this film. This is just going to be balls to the wall crazy. This is going to be ode to Deadpool, basically, and Wolverine.
It kind of has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be crazy because with the place that Disney's in right now, how people are kind of done with these movies in general, for one, but then these Disney Marvel movies, Deadpool is kind of like their last bastion of hope, in my opinion. I have zero interest in seeing anything they have planned for the future.
Well, they've eliminated their slate of movies for a lot of stuff. They're holding back, they've eliminated their slate of all of the, what is it, the Phase 5 stuff they were originally planning on doing. Now they're focusing on some select core projects, and a lot of that has to do with the X-Men now.
Well, it looks like they're pushing Secret Wars. Obviously they got that teaser right there we just watched. So Secret Wars is going to be the next big thing. I guess they're just going to abandon Kang and the Eternals. When are the Eternals ever when are they supposed to come back into the... just forget about them.
Is it just me, or am I the only one who thought that was one of the first complete garbage movies they did?
Oh yeah, that
okay.
One,
I'm not the only one thinking that.
Black Widow, that whole run they had for a minute there was pretty bad. The Spider-Man was the only one that I thought was good after.
And God, dude, Spider-Man was good, but it was really cool seeing these characters. But the fact that everybody thinks that it was Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, them thinking that you need to do that with Batman and with all these Supermans, and that that's how you're going to save a movie. Instead of actually doing some good writing, let's just bring Nicolas Cage into Superman.
Right.
For
come
5
on.
seconds or however long he was in there. Yeah, that Flash movie was really hard to watch.
I haven't even seen it. I've just seen little things of it.
The Flash,
the Batman
movie,
stuff's cool.
It's a ride. So it's a fun movie, but there are some really good bits in that movie that you aren't really missing anything because they're already redoing everything. Mm-hmm. But it's fun for what they made it.
I like the
I got a question for you.
It should have been called Batman and the Flash, not the Flash.
So they've got Michael Keaton, they've got various actors that are reprising these roles, or people who were originally cast. They're bringing in all these actors the same way that Spider-Man did it. Not the same way, but whatever. They're doing that same thing with the bring. Did they bring in the guy who played the Flash from the Warner Brothers TV series?
Absolutely not. That was in talks, but they never did it.
That is a fucking travesty.
Yeah, I like the TV.
That
I like
guy
the first season at least.
Well, they did.
That guy is.
His name's Grant Gustin. They had already done that on the Crisis of Infinite Earths with the show in the Arrowverse, and they had Ezra Miller go on there, and they, kind of did their thing where they overlapped and saw each other and said, "Cool suit, I like this design." Blah 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 blah. But
they could have brought that into the movie and expanded on that scene. And
should
then,
have
showed. Yeah, they should have done that. At least expounded upon the scene, or while he's reverse running backwards in time, or whatever the hell that weird VCR mentality of time travel they have. It's he could have somewhere paused and then gone over and said hi to the TV show guy, and then this is at what point he was in when that happened, and then back to the saving the world or whatever.
Right.
Start running forward again because I didn't like that, man. The portrayal of him running through time.
I'm gonna. So I want to preface this.
I thought that was one of the more unique takes on him, like running through time, was having that big like snow globe orb type setting.
It's visually that looks kind of cool, like a stadium
by frame going up the different levels. I thought that
I just don't like how he was. His legs are running, and then he's like, "Oh, hold on, reel it back. Okay, backwards in time." Like that looked weird, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, how would you have done it to where you weren't just be like, "Well, that's Quicksilver." They already did that.
I don't know.
That's a tough call. That's a great thing. Yeah, that is a hard thing to. I think they did good with Flash on some of the stuff where I've seen them do that kind of sort of thing, and I'm referring mainly to the Warner Brothers stuff. But you're right, the Flash, like how they did the Flash, makes it exceedingly difficult to try to accomplish. The
Quicksilver.
Flash, Quicksilver going. Yeah, what they accomplished with Quicksilver makes it exceedingly difficult for them to try to accomplish their own thing with the Flash. That same kind of scenario.
Like, so they did the Flashpoint type of storyline for the Flash. And when he goes back and meets himself, he does the whole vibrating technique, right? Mm-hmm. The way they showed that was phenomenal. They actually showed that. Like molecules like breaking up and bubbling at like a boil point, flowing.
When he's grabbing the beer out of the fridge or whatever,
it's not a great movie, but it does have some great ideas within that movie.
I agree with that.
I like the sound of that.
Being able to phase through shit. If you can go backwards in time, you should be able to phase through a wall.
I don't believe Michael Keaton as Batman going out there and kicking ass anymore. I don't. He should have stayed home.
When he was doing the karate crap in the kitchen, he was like
ordering around on the computer like he did in Batman Beyond, just telling people where to go, just directing what the traffic is. But when he gets back home after having his ass handed to him, when he looks in the mirror at himself and he's kind of like proud of himself after he did it, and he just stares at himself like, I do still have it. I do kind of miss this. He had that type of like look in his eye.
And it's like the actor doing it, not just, you know, it's like Michael Keaton doing it.
Right.
I don't understand the Supergirl thing. Why did they need to bring her into it? And it clearly wasn't actually Supergirl.
Because they needed something that wasn't male. They needed something.
But they could have
in the movie.
They could have used. Well, I mean, there was like it could have been. Hold on a second. There's an option out there. Give me a second. I'll think of something.
Okay, yeah. You take your time.
It's right there. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Right.
Power Girl would have been cool.
Is that what they actually called her?
Power Girl was the one with the giant tits.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Yeah. In the boob window.
Lex Luthor doing the whole Doomsday stuff, DNA, could have easily tried and went the other route with Kara if they were going to do this and do it Power Girl.
Yeah, Power Girl.
If you're going to use your DNA and use the ship and Man of Steel to make Doomsday, you could have easily done the same type of thing.
That movie was flawed. Like kind of. I don't know why DC's having such a hard time making like a really badass movie.
They don't want to pay.
They had a couple like the Batman Dark Knight series, Nolan, whatever, his were pretty good. Even the third one I thought wasn't horrible. Like it was.
Right. I thought it ended the trio pretty good.
Yeah, it was hard to kind of top the Joker, but they did a decent job.
Well, see,
I liked them myself.
You're keeping those movies grounded and almost too grounded to do anything huge and sci-fi-ish, which is what happens when you bring in the Justice League. So
that's true.
There's a balance that you have to do, and the way Marvel did it is that they tiptoed towards it, and immediately they were like, guys, how are we going to get in space? People are not going to expect us to go to space when we're still doing fucking everything on Earth, and we haven't introduced magic yet. That comes after Age of Ultron, for crying out loud. What are we going to do? Oh, something people aren't familiar with. Let's do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point.
They spent so much time and effort building up quality exposition prior to them ever even trying to unite that universe.
Right, and it's because they let one dude direct how everything flowed, and that was Kevin Feige. You didn't have all these,
and he was committed to the universe.
Right, he was committed to making it good. He spoke to the people who were actually in charge and said, "This is what I have in mind. This is what we're going to incorporate, and then here's where your big payoff is in game." And they were like, "Yeah, billions of dollars."
And then what happens after that? Like, how come? It's because you see it time and time again where all these people are like, "Wow, this is a big hit. I got to get my hands in on this so I can get my name attached to it. So I got to fuck it up somehow," until you got all these people in here, producers or whatever they are, that come in, investors, and they want their name attached to it. And then now we've got Brie Larson wasn't even it's not like her acting was bad.
It's not her fault.
That character was insufferable to watch. I was not enjoying any of the Marvel shit.
Yeah, when I was sitting there, because me and Megan, we went to every film in the theater when it came to the Marvel movies before up to Endgame.
And I think we did the same.
Even went and saw Captain Marvel together in the movies, and even though they shoehorned it in there, but the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, God damn, they're really hating on men right now. Like every turn, it was about a dude being an oppressor, and I looked at Meg and I was like, "Are you enjoying this?" She says, "Yeah, I like it." Go fucking figure. So
I find it empowering.
So I'm just sitting
and I'm not Megan. I'm not knocking you. My wife feels the same way, and I'm not giving you her phone number. You guys do not get to talk this one out. Just know I'm not going against you. It's all bruh.
But sitting there, I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, I wasted a good time.
Oh man, that makes me kind of worried that they're going to do this in the Deadpool with that. The villain's the chick, right? It's that like Professor X's twin or something.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, so
it's like his clone or something.
It's like his clone or vestigial twin that died. Like he fought her off in the womb, and then won, and then somehow she survived as a clump of cells, and then grew up to be fucking evil. And she's way better than Professor X, by the way.
Of course.
And she's way stronger. So she's got to be this. They've got that Cloud guy in he's like the Universe Eater or some shit like that.
Oh, Galactus?
Not Galactus. It's Asimov.
The other Universe Eater.
Yeah, the purple cloud that. It's like one of the newer stuff, and when it comes to all the newer stuff in the past 15 years, I'm not as familiar with it. I'm just hearing about some of these characters.
Is it Galactus the one that Silver Surfer was doing?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. That's the one I want to see is Galactus and Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four, I know this. I would rather see Silver Surfer than Fantastic Four, but obviously you got to bring them together, right? Like Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four go hand in hand.
Do you?
But I don't know, because the cartoon didn't really have Fantastic Four in it, and I loved that cartoon. But that had to do with Thanos.
I'm just saying, if they're making Kraven the Hunter solo films and Venom solo films, I don't see why they couldn't do that if they really wanted to. But
good call on that.
That's Sony, by the way, but that's Sony. Do they still own?
And to be fair, that's just Sony like scraping and trying to keep their IP that they own.
They're coming out with a new Venom. It's called The Last Dance or something.
Well, they're contractually required to, otherwise they lose it.
You can tell Sony gave a damn when they made the Into the Spider-Verse films.
Yes, that was really good.
That proved that they can hire good writers. They have the money for good writers. Why the
and
fuck
the animation was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
the whole thing, man, it had just a cool vibe to it.
dude. You know those guys. I guarantee you, those guys got off that project probably similar to like the whole X-Men '97 thing. They got off of it. They were passionate about it. They didn't care about what they were being paid or the work hours or the crunch culture or whatever was going on. They created a great project and everybody loved it, and they didn't get a raise. Like, I guarantee that's how that went down.
Well,
so they just stopped caring.
We were able to turn out to Into the Spider-Verse films. Why are we getting trashed like Morbius and Madam Web and all these other fucking...
It's just about control. Like, they own those IPs. Every one of their like
that's all they got from the Spider-Man.
Every other character in the exact same universe is exploding and making $1 billion a film. Deadpool Wolverine is predicted to make $1 billion, and they're like, we own Morbius, so maybe we can make.
That's part of the problem. The problem, I think, I don't know if this might play into it, but aside from 2020 and all the nonsense that happened that year and everything since, movies used to be like, hey, let's go watch Demolition Man. You know, who cares? It's Demolition Man. Let's just go get. And then we got some good blockbusters, you know, once or twice a year. Then we started getting like a lot of dog shit movies. And I don't know if it's because we're getting older and so they're just not as appealing to us like they were, or if they're just not worth that $50 ticket, you know? Like, if you take your family, it's easily $50-$60 if you want to get sodas and stuff. Right. And the sodas at my theater suck, dude. It's like one of those machines. And so like they didn't have the right ratio of syrup and it's always out of something. And so it's just like, I'm just going to sneak in a soda. Just
make sure you get your Wolverine popcorn.
Yeah, right.
Pop.
My popcorn bucket. And the one time I actually cared about popcorn, they didn't have my Dune bucket. I was very upset. And then I found out it was going to be $40 or something like that for that bucket anyway. So I said, never mind. I don't care about a popcorn bucket that much. But like after Endgame, or maybe even Lord of the Rings, you know, and then we had blockbuster, these huge blockbuster hit movie franchises happen. The MCU came in and just built it up to this huge. There was no way you're going to beat that after you had, what was it, like 20 years or something? How many years did they work on that?
Yeah, it was over 15, easily over 15.
And 18, then so bam, we got that huge finale, and now everything is a blockbuster. Like Dune is the next blockbuster. What has come out that you were excited for other than Dune and like since Endgame? Godzilla -1, just because it looked cool, and I didn't realize how much I was going to love that movie until I saw it. And
wow. I was surprised by that one. I am looking forward to Deadpool Wolverine. That one, I probably go to 2 movies a year. This will be one of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why not? Why 2? I wish I went to movies more often than that.
Right.
But yeah, it's like 2 a year, right?
Well, we did make the case a while back in our little community on the indie scene that we want quality over quantity. So let's bite the bullet and stick with what we demanded. So I'll take less.
When a ticket costs so much now, it's like the only movies that are worth watching are the blockbusters.
Right. So with as much as they cost now, let's get less quantity and more quality.
True.
They do have ways of trying to get around it. I mean, you got your Wolverine Deadpool movie, which is another blockbuster. I can't wait. I really do want to see this movie. But they have, AMC has that deal where you can pay like $20 a month, I think, and then go watch it's like 3 movies a week or 7 movies a week or something like that.
Good. Put out 3 good movies a week, motherfucker.
Right. I'm
not going to go watch the Barbie movie 3 times.
I would have watched Godzilla several times, but you get like so many movie tickets a week, and that's kind of a cool idea. You don't even need to buy them because there's no humans working there anymore, so you can just walk right in. What are they going to do? But
I do like how the theater down here, like, not that I want to partake in this with any kind of like big blockbuster event, but they actually like serve beer and stuff at the theater over here.
That should make the experience
that'd be kind of cool.
Well, that sound on paper, that sounds cool. Oh, it's probably like $30 a glass. It's going to be, insane.
Yeah.
But on paper, that sounds good. Having been that guy, 25 years ago who snuck into Tinseltown with a bottle of whiskey and saw, what was that Wesley Snipes? Blade, yes.
Blade. Yeah, I threw up all over the place.
Puked all over the place on that one. Terrible.
I was like, I made it to the trash can in the hallway, and one of the employees.
Yep, same here. Like we were taking turns at the trash can,
and he's like, "No," and I'm like,
"Yeah." the guy that worked there was like, "Please
no. Don't." And I looked at the trash can, and they went all over the wall. Oh, that was rough.
And then we asked for a refund.
I remember waiting for like 10 minutes out back, like back when we were younger, sneaking into movies. That was kind of fun. Right now, I don't know what's a felony. What is it? What the price theft under whatever that used to be set under 50, right? Well, now that means sneaking into a movie theater could literally be a felony.
You could definitely get felony charges on that one. Yeah. Well, now puking on the wall, that's probably like after COVID, that's probably going to be, some kind of health violation.
That's an $800 fine.
Yeah.
You get locked up, thrown in quarantine, jail or something.
Shoot.
You want to watch this Deadpool trailer?
Dude, I've been waiting.
Throw it on.
I have it here. Hold on. Let me get this share screen with audio and all that fun, fancy stuff. What is Wolverine? Official trailer. Here we go. Make it big screen.
Yeah.
Share screen. Volume up. Here we go.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's...
Hold on a second. Is that guy that's like, this Wolverine let down his entire world? Is that
I got
guy
a question
from the
about that.
Show?
I got a question about that too. I think he is from the TSA.
I don't know if he's from Loki's show, but he's definitely part of TSA.
Yeah, which lends itself to my theory on this, that there's like 100 Wolverines.
Okay, now this scene right here, somebody was talking about how this might... First of all, my original thought was this is like all the dead people, right? But somebody pointed out this might actually be all the graves of the Wolverines.
That would fall in line with some of the stuff they did in Loki.
So that's kind of interesting. He's like, I don't know, is this a dream world or something where he's like walking through looking at all his different versions of himself?
No. In Loki, they have like a timeline where they dump all the excess Lokis. So all the ones that are like screwing or whatever, I forget what it was, something along those lines. So like my theory would be that like this right here is just like that timeline that they dump all the Wolverines in.
They do have there's a scene I think in the trailer here in a minute, I'll pause it, where it does look like, well, okay, you got hold on, let's keep watching here because
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
So right here, this location, notice how everything seems like it's dumped in this location?
Behind him, that's a 20th Century Fox sign.
Yeah, over there. And then over here, you've got like some ship that that was from one movie. I don't know, man. Those videos.
Is that the submarine from the from the first new cast of X-Men movie?
Oh yeah, maybe. And
The submarine,
like a circus tent or some shit. It's like they're fighting in like, which is like really clever that they have the 20th Century Fox logo buried right there. That's really cool. That was pretty cool.
They're doing the whole, what is it? It's supposed to be a joke about them getting bought out of Fox or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
It's
dead
symbolic.
now, so. What the hell? I can't even pause it on that. Anyways, all right, let's keep playing.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
I love this scene right here.
The sleeves, man. They got rid of those sleeves. Everyone was complaining.
I don't know anything about saving worlds.
What's the Copperhead?
Look at
reference?
that.
Right here.
That comic. Yeah, the Liefeld. They're making fun of the comic artist that has the can't draw feet.
Yeah.
There's dude, everything in here. Copperheads means something. Like everything in this scene.
Yeah,
it's like a
lot
little
of Easter
cameo.
eggs. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Oh, here's another one right here. This forest looks like it might be from the Logan movie.
Hell, it also looks like it's from the Star Wars movie. That's kind of.
No, it also looks like it was from that Avengers movie, where they're like.
It might be from that movie, The Forest.
Yeah. Well, okay. There's a reason why I say that, because there's an actual scene that's like from the Wolverine movie where there's the exact same truck is toppled over.
Boys are so silly.
Oh, there it is right there. Boys are so silly.
Silly.
Did y'all know that?
Mm.
Boys
Didn't
are so
I do.
silly. This is
She's
like
not
one of
wrong.
those, like, I guess. It's not looking good, though. Hopefully we can keep it toned down to like 1 or 2 comments. You know what I mean?
Or, well, I mean, if they beat her, it's fine.
Oh, yeah. That's that, whatever, is it Asimov or... Oh, anyways, that cloud.
This is what I'm talking about.
There's Ant-Man's body.
Big slow motion action sequence.
There's something with that car, too. I forget what the story was on that. There was a...
That's Red Skull's car. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's what... Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Right there, Red Skulls. Yeah. Although it's all painted up, it looks different.
Yeah, turn it into a hot rod.
That's pretty badass. And that's, I think, another reference to Old Man Logan.
Oh, yeah. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes.
Yeah, man. That does make me
that
does gonna get me excited to watch it when I watch that trailer.
Now, I got a question about this, talking about like the timeline stuff like that, because I'm going to be super critical on that point. At the very beginning, like one of the first lines in the trailer, Ryan Reynolds says, "I'm about to lose everything," something to that effect. And they obviously this could be like restructured for the purposes of the trailer. Maybe it's not in the movie, but when they do that, they are doing a panning shot of that entire, like all the characters from the previous movie, all of the people, a lot of them who had died in previous movies and in the previous Deadpool movies, which combine that with the TSA and the way they ended Deadpool 2, where he went back in time and he like changed all these different things. I'm putting together the pieces. What I'm seeing with this is that he went back in time, he saved all of his people, pissed off the TSA. Now they're coming back and having him fix all of his things. And that is not like, I don't like this approach. I don't understand how Wolverine plays into this, and maybe they go off on some weird tangent that, you know, obviously is a higher level thinking than whatever I'm thinking right now. But what I'm seeing with that right there is so entry level. And I think this is going to be a good movie. I'm looking forward to it still. But this is such a basic way to get into the premise of this.
I mean, come on, man.
I don't mind the time travel stuff.
I mean,
but you bring up. Go ahead.
Terminator.
It's been done.
Yeah, right. I don't mind though. If they do it fun, they do it cool. I don't mind. Turtle, don't bring up the turtles.
Dude, it's
actually the turtles is all right because they used a different method. They just
Flash, Loki. What if?
Oh, are you talking about the movie Turtles? Or are you talking about like that? The one we talked about recently.
I'm talking about the Rise of the TMNT film.
Yeah. What about this? Is interesting. We've got. She's dead, dude. She's dead in the second movie.
Yeah,
but he's not.
Yeah, but the TSA is here for a reason. So apparently he did something. He was jumping through the past.
Which is how the TSA got involved, because that's how they got involved with the other one.
Because
maybe they're going to like delete his universe or something, and so he's got to do something to fix to be able to like.
That is like exactly what they did to Loki. He was jumping around time doing thing, and they're like, "Oh, now we're going to have to use Loki. You got to go back and fix the timeline stuff you messed up."
So it's almost the exact premise of Deadpool 2.
Thank you. Yeah. So okay. So here's what they're going to do.
Time and fix stuff at Deadpool 2.
So here's what they're going to do. I am an idiot. They have paid writers millions of dollars to craft a story that is so far beyond what my meager mind is able to try to gain from this trailer. I'm being overly critical. The story is going to be amazing. They are writing it very well, and none of the things that I have said are going to happen.
Is somebody pointing a gun to your head over there? Blink twice if it's happening.
I'm trying to manifest a good movie here.
Okay. We call
He's got the claw things, the claw separators, though. Look at him.
It looks good.
Cool.
It looks sweet.
I don't like the costume in particular. This is like it's similar to the classic, but it's also.
What would you prefer, black leather?
Did you know they did that in the comic book? Or no, was it the cartoon where he's like?
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
You just quoted it. I'm slow.
Well, see, they put the arms on this Wolverine costume because Hugh Jackman has skin cancer, so he can't be out in the sun very long. So that's why he's got the arm covers instead of them being open like they are in the cartoon.
And then they ripped them off. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's why he didn't want to.
I didn't know that.
With his arms out.
Huh? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why he only does it so often.
Wear your sunscreen, kids.
But did you notice this Wolverine's demeanor is way different from Logan and all the other films?
It's the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion. I like it.
Yeah,
it's him. Totally. It's like Logan right before the Logan movie, but it's like after Professor X dies. Which if this is like one theory that I heard that before the events of Logan, but after the events of Days of Future Past, like after the X-Men die, basically. Well, that would mean Professor X is still alive, and he wouldn't be as bitter. He'd be kind of like trying to piece I don't know. Maybe he would be. I don't know, angry because the X-Men all just died.
Right.
I mean, he can't save the X-Men again, though.
Well,
he did that in Days of Future Past.
This Wolverine did not save his world. The Wolverine we know saved his world.
And then he died, and now this is a different Wolverine. It's a different Wolverine now who is not going to retcon Logan.
And Deadpool is not going to care. He's going to see Wolverine. He's going to be like, oh, best friend. And then Wolverine, because he had his own Deadpool, is going to be like, fuck, not another one.
Deadpool has to exist outside of the original because obviously Deadpool was the original Deadpool was in that Wolverine movie, the Origins movie. So this Deadpool has to be separated, which means if he was traveling universes, he would go into our Wolverine's universe and they wouldn't exist in the same one. So that would make sense if he did have to go get the Wolverine we know, the 20th Century Fox Wolverine.
Because this Deadpool isn't his Deadpool from Origins.
Exactly.
So
But maybe Wolverine dying, it was the problem? Or is it all the X-Men dying because he couldn't save him or didn't save him or whatever?
Well, how
so
could
then
some save him when Xavier has a fucking stroke and just annihilates everything?
Maybe he could have killed Xavier. If he had the opportunity to kill Xavier and then he didn't.
That's a good point. He could. What if he could have killed Xavier but saved the X-Men, and then something happened, and because there were no X-Men, they couldn't save their world or something?
Yes, I mean, if he can walk towards Jean Grey in Dark Phoenix mode, he should have been able to walk towards Xavier.
Oh, good call. Good call. Yeah, you're right about that. Like, yeah, I was thinking more of like a humane, like he's just like, I love Xavier, I can't do it.
That's
but
what I was
no.
thinking.
You did it to Jean Grey. You can do it to Xavier. Get over there and do what you do, boy.
That would make a lot more sense, though. But here's the problem with that movie: if and the whole mind control, like Professor X controlling brains and stuff. Well, after Wolverine would like stab people and they're clearly dead, they're still standing. Like their brains would be mush, and so their bodies wouldn't be able to stand up anymore. How come when Wolverine's like killing people as he's like making his way through the hallway, stabbing the bad guys, they're all still standing? Like they're just like, ugh, and then they're frozen. Like that didn't make any sense to me at all.
That's going to be some TSA thing, I guarantee it. Something with
you're actually going to explain that.
Yeah, I bet you money it's going to be like some kind of like they're rock soldiers or from the TSA. They've already explained like some of that kind of stuff away in other projects, so it's like that doesn't even faze me at this point.
Right.
I'm still excited. I hope this is our Wolverine, the same Wolverine. Because honestly, if it's a different one, I don't know if I'd give a crap about him.
Even if
it is
a different one, I'm still happy with it because we get Wolverine in the yellow and blue. I'm happy about that.
That would be cool.
I'm super critical,
like that.
But I'm super critical on all this stuff. But I'm excited to see it. It looks like the characters are great themselves, so I think they'll hold their own movie regardless of any of the stuff I said.
And Deadpool,
yeah, I think it'll still be fun no matter what. But
yeah, Deadpool's costume is a little bit brighter in this one, kind of like they did with Daredevil when he came over to be part of the She-Hulk stuff. Which is cool, but
he's also got gold guns.
Yeah, it looked like this Deadpool was also a bit slimmer too. Like he wasn't as muscular. He seemed more agile than tone. You know what I mean? Like more of an acrobatic look instead of like a muscle look.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're going with that cartoony look.
Yeah, if you look at the shoulders, you can see it got slimmer around the neck and shoulder area versus his 1 and 2 films.
Yeah, he had to support. He's doing those other movies now, like what's that one where he just got in the fight with The Rock on Netflix? Red something.
Oh, Red
Notice.
Yeah.
But to be
starting
unfair,
to do some of those
Wolverine
movies.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish they kept the shoulder plates.
Yeah.
So he's got the gold guns. He does look Yeah, I guess a little bit, but that's kind of his character, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch the other Deadpools, which
his belt you
do
can
that
tell
anyways.
is different too. The belt has like the Spider-Man eyes instead of the round ones like in the first two films. Yeah, so they did change it up a little bit, not enough to make big, noticeable things, but little details you can see.
Man, I hope it's my Wolverine, but I'll accept it if it's not.
I think it's
excited
crazy
to watch this.
It's crazy for a Deadpool film. We're more worried about Wolverine.
Right? Because it's like it's Wolverine and the Dead. Like if he didn't make such a big stink about it in the second movie, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And even the first movie, but more so in the second movie. I'm so excited. I want to watch it. We're like over the hour here, so I'm gonna call it. But I don't know. Y'all excited to watch this?
Hell yeah,
I am. And we can totally come back and do a rehash on this after we see the movie. Like we should all go see it day one and come back and immediately. You know what we should do? We should live stream from the theater while we're watching it.
Oh yeah,
with a bottle of whiskey.
Like everybody else.
Imagine if YouTube and like live streaming was a thing back when we used to go sit outside of movie theaters for.
We would have fucked shit up.
Oh yeah,
dude. The Star Wars episode 2 or 3, I forget which one. I went out there with the lightsaber and my robe or whatever, and I was out there doing it for like 8 hours.
Now you can go out there with your popcorn tin, your bottle of whiskey, your popcorn topper bucket.
Now you got to go
to a big bottle in there.
You got to go to the toy section to get your Wolverine claws now.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, that and when I go in there, like now there's nobody in theaters. I just live stream from the theater.
There we go.
Yeah,
they'll even give a shit about that. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining me here talking about Deadpool.
Hell
I
yeah,
can't
man.
wait. Coming up in July.
Yeah, it's fun.
July 26th.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, man, for sure. We got to come up with some cool stuff to talk about. And everybody's watching. If you got any things you want to hear us ramble on about, like what's going on? We got a guest just pop in here.
Sup, Nody?
We were just calling it. We were just about to end the stream here, but you can go back and watch the replay.
Hell yeah.
Nody, good
What's
seeing
going
you, man.
on?
Appreciate you stopping
Naughty
by.
buddy. Anyways,
Nody.
I'll catch y'all later.
Check
We'll
it.
see you next time.
Night, guys.